Hello, welcome. My name is Kata, and I'm talking today about the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction that we have in full exact today. But in addition to this, really what I'm talking about, it's not so much the astrology that I want to talk about right now, but more of what this energy that the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction has brought in for us today. What that energy entails and how I'm kind of translating it independently as an individual. So what I'm recognizing with this huge influx of energy, because that's what we have today, just a massive influx of energy. What I'm recognizing is and the kind of like the title that I wanted to give this video, or I may be giving this video, is Know Thyself. So this is, when I was in meditation, this is what I was getting, is today is very much about activating a deep knowing within ourselves. And this deep knowing really connects to your essence, to your soul, and to who you are as an individual. So the energy is truly calling us out, actually, and asking us to really take a much deeper look at ourselves, at our personal lives, at our internal world, essentially, to figure out and to sort out who you are and, how far you've come, and really dig deep into that essence, like I said, of who you are. This is like soul searching. This is like deep soul work that I'm talking about right now, but that's what's being really activated. Because what I got was, and what I'm getting is that if we don't know ourselves, if you don't know who you truly are, then you are not going to know what your path is. And therefore you are also not going to know, as a result, of where you're heading. So if you don't know where you're heading, and you don't know where your path is, that, if you just take the steps backwards, you're going to realize that if you are currently experiencing confusion, if you are currently experiencing upheaval in your life, if things are falling apart or if things are not going well, then those things are not going well because, first of all, the old structures are breaking down and all the things that are no longer working for you and supporting your life are falling away. But the other piece is because this kind of tower moment, as they call it in tarot, or this falling apart situation is happening due to the fact that you don't actually know who you are, and you haven't spent enough time soul searching. You haven't spent enough time doing that deep internal work to heal wounds, to basically to grow up emotionally, because that's what I find that I'm experiencing, is that as I move through more and more challenges, and how I'm navigating those challenges now has really shown me that I've seriously graduated. I've seriously upgraded my life, and I have seriously come a long way from where I used to be. And where I used to be was victim mode. And, and I was trapped in victim mode for a really long time. And I was trapped there because I did not know myself. So really the essence and the basis of this video is all about, and what I want to encourage people to do, and what I'm making this video for, is to help people awaken to the fact that you have to start really taking time out of your life and out of your day to spend time with yourself, to really figure out who you are and what your purpose is, and what kind of a path you want to create for yourself, and why do you want to create that path, and why do you want to walk that path, right? Because when you sort these things out within yourself, it's going to give you so much clarity in terms of what steps you need to take to be able to walk that path, right? And you're only going to make the right choices that actually support taking those steps if you do that internal work, and if you spend time with yourself. And here I'm talking about meditation. This is about going within and really taking the time to listen to your inner voice, to silence the thoughts and everything else, and just tune in to, what do I need right now in this moment, and what would support me the most right now in this moment. It's asking yourself these questions, and who perhaps could I turn to for help in this moment if I feel I need external support. But primarily here, I really want to focus on encouraging people to support yourself and learn to fill your own cup. Because my God, when I started to learn to fill my own cup, there was such a transition in my life, and I really moved out of victim mode, and I moved into this significantly more empowered being, because that's who I became. Because that's inevitable. Like, that is who you become when you finally start to, who is a victim? A victim is a person that gives their power away to other people, to situations, circumstances. So if you are no longer a victim of, negative things happening in your life, and you begin to see that those were just lessons there to teach you, to help you, to guide you, to push you to figure out who you actually are, so that you can make better choices for yourself, and to realize the power that you have to change your life, because that's what comes through meditation. And there's a major empowering that happens within me every single time I connect to myself, and every single time I tune in to my own needs and what I actually need in any given moment. That is massively empowering for me, and I find I begin to flow with much more ease in my life, because I'm now tuning into what I need, not what other people need from me. Do you see the difference? So I don't allow people now to dictate I choose what actions I'm going to participate in and which actions I'm not going to participate in, based on what I know I need in any given moment. Because for me, I'm going through a massive career transition, and I've been doing one type of work for a really, really long time, for almost 20 years. And to transition out of that work and to transition into something brand new is only going to come from from me realizing that I have permission to let go of that old job, because it's no longer who I am. You see, I have done the inner work, and I have gone within myself to realize, to figure out who I truly am, and to recognize that that's expired, that work and that job has expired for me. It no longer brings me joy. It no longer brings me fulfillment. And I am one of those people that I personally cannot and will not do. I don't care how much money it pays. I will not work or do something that does not fulfill me and that does not make me happy. Because I've already spent way too much of my time doing that in my 20s. And there's no fucking way that I'm going to continue to do that now that I'm heading into a more mature state of my life. I've learned, I've grown up. I've come to the understanding that I no longer need to choose activities that don't align with me. And I certainly don't need to choose them out of fear, because that was the other piece that I realized, is I was choosing to do that work for that many years because I was afraid to change, because it was my comfort zone. And even though I hated it, not hated it, but even though I was bored with it, I still wasn't able to just step out of that comfort zone, because it was a comfort zone that was very uncomfortable. So now that I'm really getting to know myself on a deeper level, I'm beginning to understand that it doesn't serve me to do that work. Even if it pays well, it does not serve me to do that work, because it doesn't fulfill me, and it doesn't make me want to jump out of bed in the morning excited and like, woohoo, let's get into it. No, I don't feel that. And that is also authenticity, right? Knowing yourself is also actually understanding how you are authentic and what your authenticity looks like, right? Because when I left victim mode and victimhood, okay, we'll say victimhood. When I left that and really stepped into my own power, that's when I really started to notice how much can shift around me and for me, and how much more good can actually come into my life. Why? Because I've now made space for it. I made space for the new to come in, because I was willing to let go of the old. I was willing to step outside of my comfort zone and say, I'm open arms to having a new experience. And that was difficult initially. And that can be difficult because it's a transition. But like I said, I did major soul work. I did major deep inner healing and inner identification. And I was watching a podcast earlier and or listening to it, and they were saying that and she made such a valid point, that we, so many of us wear a mask, and so many of us are afraid to show our true authentic selves to other people. And that's so true. And that right here, definitely in that list, part of that group, or I was a part of that group, and that mask is shedding away more and more. And it's layer by layer. I find the mask doesn't just fall off. You don't just rip it off your face one day and say, okay, I'm done wearing the mask. No, it kind of happens gradually. As you get to know yourself and as you get to understand yourself on a significantly deeper level, the mask is peeled away one layer at a time, and that authenticity starts to shine through as you peel away those layers of fake, as you peel away those layers of needing to put on a face for other people to please them or to make them happy or to not disappoint them or whatever else. But again, when you get to know yourself and when you get to understand like who you truly are, you will find that you don't need to wear the mask anymore. You won't want to wear the mask anymore. You will so want to be yourself and your wholehearted like self in such a beautiful way that it's just going to feel so good. So good, because essentially most people choose the wrong partners, choose the wrong jobs, choose the wrong situations and the wrong circumstances, and just make a lot of terrible choices for themselves. Why? Because they don't know who they are. And because they don't know who they are, they don't know what they really truly want out of life and in life. They don't really know what is their path, specifically their path to walk. They have no idea. And so therefore they kind of pulling at everything, right? They will take whatever kind of comes and just falls on the road instead of creating the road, instead of making a brand new path for themselves based on their authenticity. So today, with the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, this coming together in Pisces is really, truly significant. And it's really, really giving us an opportunity to look deep within ourselves, okay? No more scratching at the surface. This is like, we are asked to do deep work, because that deep work is going to transform your life in such a powerful way that you don't even understand yet, right? But it's first the work, then the reward. It's not the reward for nothing. That's not how this works. And if, in case people haven't noticed, our world is rapidly changing. And in order for us to be able to stay present and to stay strong during all of these changes, it's extremely important for you to understand, again, who you are. If you're able to stand in your power because you understand your power and you understand how much you have, then nothing on the outside will shake you. It won't disrupt you. It won't throw you off your path. You will continue to diligently take steps towards accomplishing your goals, and you won't be distracted by outer world circumstances. They will still affect us, of course. They affect all of us. We can't get away from it. But it won't influence you to the degree that it would, and it won't knock you out of your vortex the way that it would if you don't do the work. Because when we don't do the work, our energy becomes extremely fragmented and it becomes extremely unbalanced. And then those imbalances really show up in our lives externally through just stupid shit happening that, we don't expect, or just unexpected circumstances or bills or accidents or whatever. Like a lot of things can happen when we're off. See, our internal world so much determines our external experience. And this is something that I really didn't understand, and I really didn't realize how much power I had and how much power I was using to create all kinds of shitty situations for myself because I was afraid of them. And so I would focus on those circumstances and I'd be like, oh God, I just hope this doesn't happen or that happened. And then guess what? It did happen. Why? Because I manifested it. I created it because I put so much effort and energy and power into not wanting it, that's exactly what I ended up attracting. So you see, the universe is not a jerk and doesn't just not deliver the goods. The universe delivers to you all the time and every day and in every moment of your waking life. But it always delivers to you what you are resonating with, what you are vibrating with, and what you are aligned with. And when you are not aligned with good thoughts and positive thoughts, when you don't know your own power and your own strength and your own abilities to change your life for the better by controlling this, which is the control center. If you don't have this in check, and if you're not able to keep that just in control, right, where the mind doesn't take over and you're constantly overthinking and overprocessing, if you don't do that, if you don't take time out to control the thoughts, they will eat you up alive. They will consume you. They will control you, and they will push you to make terrible decisions for yourself and to allow people to take advantage, and you're going to miss red flags and like all kinds of things. Like when we are not aligned, our life is not aligned. So if right now a whole bunch of shit in your life is not aligned and it's not going the way that you would like, That's because A, you don't have clarity about it. B, you don't have clarity because you don't know who you are yet. You haven't fully figured out what you're capable of. You haven't fully figured out your talents, your gifts, your abilities, and how you could use those and manifest them in the world and use it for good to serve others. And you also haven't sorted out what you actually can do, because a lot of times I hear people as I'm talking to them, as I'm coaching them, and they'll tell me but I just don't see a way out, or like they have no idea. And I'm like, there's always a way out, always. It's just that those possibilities are not shown to you if you're always in the vibration or in the energy of there, I don't see a way out. So if you want to see a way out, you have to first create a way out within yourself. And how you do that is by aligning yourself to that thought and to that feeling. There is a way out. There's always a way out. Just because I don't have it sorted out right in this second, it doesn't mean that I don't have it. And the other piece is communication and connection with spirit. Without my spiritual connection and without the deep, just the deep spirituality that I feel, if I didn't have that, I would be so fucking lost. I really would be. I would be so lost in my life. I wouldn't know, how to make good choices and stuff. Like, I check in constantly and I express gratitude constantly for all the good things in my life. And my life isn't perfect, but I certainly can appreciate the good things that are in my life, because I have gone through so much bad shit that I can really, really appreciate the good. And I can also see now, and I can also understand how certain negative situations I created for myself, because I was afraid and because I also didn't feel worthy of receiving. So you see, the more I begin to understand myself and the more I learn of who Kata is on the inside and who I am truly, and what resonates and aligns with me and what doesn't, and the more I listen to those thoughts and those feelings of when something does feel like it aligns or when something doesn't feel that it aligns, when I listen to those thoughts and those feelings, it really, really aligns me actually to the right choices. So this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is here to, like I said, help us wake up, shift out of negative consciousness and really shift into ourselves and wake up to our own potential, wake up to who you truly are, wake up to the realization that you are a spiritual being and you are here to co-create with spirit, to make an amazing life for yourself. It's not about being in victim mode. So it's like, pack your tent up and get the fuck out of victim town, okay? that's kind of a harsh way of saying it, but that's real, That's really what we have to do, is just pack it up and say, I'm moving to a new town because I don't like it here anymore. And see, that is the power that you have. And that is the control that you have over your own life. But you only have that if you know who you are, if you can check in with yourself, if you start to trust yourself, and if you start trusting your feelings and your intuition and your hunches about people and about things and about jobs and about everything. When you start to listen to those hunches, you are connecting with yourself on a deeper level, and eventually you're just going to feel so at home with your own, and so at ease with your own choices. You're going to know that you are making the right ones, and you won't question them anymore. So pay attention and tune in. And especially today, if you can take the time today to meditate and to really set the intentions to have an amazing future, because essentially today's energy is about planning and creating your future and visualizing it and really seeing yourself, and not just yourself, but the world. See yourself and this entire planet in harmony and in peace and in joy and in happiness, and see that everyone is abundant and everyone has everything that they need and everyone's needs are met. See that and visualize that, and you will feel so connected not only to yourself and to spirit, but to this entire world. And you will see that opportunities will come into your life because you're aligning to love. You are aligning yourself to love and to be peace, not to be a victim. So that's my message for today. I hope this message was helpful, and I wish you all the best in this spiritual journey of getting to know thyself. Take care. Namaste.